Welcome to our discovery of basic concepts in economics, chapter 1. So objective 1 was talking about scarcity. And so economics can be defined as the study of how individuals and society satisfy their unlimited wants with limited resources, because resources are scarce. When we run out of oil, unless we come up with some way to make synthetic oil that will make everything good, we're going to run out of it. Once we run out of clean drinking water, we could possibly run out of clean drinking water. So a lot of things are scarce, even though technology is changing that. But we do have unlimited wants. All right, so economics involves three things: examining how individuals, businesses, government, and societies choose to use their scarce resources, plus they only have the ability to get their hands on so much of it, to satisfy their wants; organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data about economic behaviors; developing theories in economic law that explain how the economy works and to predict what might happen in the future. All right, so the fact that we have our wants are unlimited and our resources are limited, that's going to be the definition of scarcity. Can't get everything we want, unfortunately. So scarcity affects everyone. We have, up here it says, unlimited wants but limited resources. Now, there are wants and needs, and in our society and everyday life, we use those words interchangeably. Like, I need the new iPhone 6 that's coming out. Well, you don't actually need it, you want it. You need food, clean drinking water, clean air, shelter. So why don't you go ahead and list three things that are wants for you, and then three things that are needs for you. So pause the video, and then write your answers down, and then come back. All right, welcome back. So hopefully for your needs, you put shelter, clothing, clean drinking water. Wants, maybe a new pair of sneakers, or a different car, or a new iPhone, things like that. Now, as a consumer, and you're called that because you consume things, so like when I'm walking back and forth in the classroom, I'm consuming the tile. Clearly I'm not eating it, but I am using it up, so eventually it will wear out because I've walked on it so much. You buy goods and services from a producer. So they're the ones that put that product out there or that service out there for you to consume. So IMO stands for in my own words. So in a minute you're going to pause, and I want you to write what is the difference between a need and a want. So go ahead, pause, write your answer, and come back. Welcome back. I think that the difference between a need and a want you could sum up really easily. A need is something that you have to have for survival. A want is just a desire. All right, so objective 2 is talking about the three economic questions. And the reason that we have three economic questions that have to be answered by every society is because of scarcity. They only have so many resources, limited resources, to meet our unlimited wants. So there's three economic questions, and they have to be asked in this order. The first one is what to produce. So they have to figure out what it is that they're going to make to sell to the consumers. Will it mainly be food? Will it be produce? Will it be TVs? Will it be iPods, Xboxes, and shoes? What is it? And it all depends on the resources that are available. In some places, there's more resources available than in others. And in some countries, they don't have the resources that they need, so they have to import them or bring them in from another country. If in this country, we allow the consumers and producers, or supply and demand, if you want to look at it that way, to decide the answer to this question. So based on our purchases, we're telling the producers what we do want and what we don't want. If there's a shortage of something, we're telling producers, we really, really want that, please produce more. If there is a surplus of them, we're like, maybe we don't want those, and then the producer's going to change. In other countries, the government is going to decide. And like I said in class, I don't know about you, but I don't want a whole bunch of grumpy old men making decisions about fashion for me. So that's why I like the fact that the consumers have a hand in determining what is going to be out there and available in the stores. So the first question was what to produce. Now we have to figure out how to produce it. Answering this question involves using scarce resources in the most efficient way possible, because you don't want to lose money. No one gets into business and says, I want to lose $6 million this year. This is done differently in every country depending on the skill level of their labor force. So in some countries, they're going to be able to produce things a little bit more efficiently or differently than in other countries based on the skill level and technology available in that country. Thirdly, the first question, what to produce. Second question, how to produce it. Third question is for whom to produce it. Oops, sorry, for whom to produce. This involves how goods and services are distributed among people in society. So if you live in Hawaii, I don't really think that you're going to be able to sell too many winter jackets. So you have to decide who's your target market, what are they going to want, what are they going to need, and then you have to get them to the people. So the fact that we have an intricate, which is a big word that means complicated, infrastructure comes into play and why it is so important to maintain it, because we need to be able to get those goods to the people, because otherwise our economy is going to break down. All right, so we have so far gone over what scarcity is, why it's so important, the difference between our unlimited wants and our limited resources, our 3 economic questions, what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom to produce. And then we have to deal with, all right, so how are we going to make these things? Well, first of all, we have to say when we're deciding what to produce and how to produce it, economists have identified the 4 factors of production. The first one is going to be land. And this doesn't necessarily mean you have to own land, it just means that you have to use the resources that come from the land to be able to produce things. Even if you're making plastic, maybe you're making out of recycled things, or you have a factory that has to be someplace, that type of thing. Next, you have to have people to make your products or deliver your services. Without that, it's not going to work. You also have to have some money or some investment, because if you don't have the investment, you're not going to be able to pay the people and secure the resources that you need. And the last one is entrepreneurship. And this is the combination of vision, skill, and ingenuity, and the willingness to take risks that is needed to create and run a business. So if you have that vision and skill, then you can combine your land, labor, and capital and make it something successful. So this IMO, of the 4 factors of production, I feel that the one that is essential is, do you feel like there's one that's more important than the other 3? And then tell me why. So why don't you go ahead and pause, write your answers down, and come back. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you were able to choose one and then tell why that one is the most important. And there's no right or wrong answer, it's just whether you were able to justify your answer or not. All right, so let's do some questions for review. What are wants? Things such as food or clothing that are necessary for survival, desires that can be satisfied by consuming a good or service, the physical objects that can be purchased for personal use, the lack of resources needed to meet human desires. So why don't you go ahead, pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, come back. Welcome back. Hopefully you were able to get rid of A, because those are needs, and then C, the physical objects that can be purchased for personal use. Well, I might want something, but it doesn't have to be purchased, and it might not be for me. So that can't be right. But they are desires that can be satisfied by consuming a good or service. Next. Why must people make choices about the things they desire? Producers use the same resources to make different kinds of items. Wants are ever-changing, so people must substitute new items for old ones. People must satisfy their needs first because they cannot afford to satisfy all their desires. People's wants are unlimited, but the resources available to satisfy them are scarce. Go ahead, pause, get rid of 2, choose your right answer, and come back. Welcome back. Hopefully you were able to get rid of 2, maybe this one, because they don't all use the same resources, obviously. And then, yes, you must satisfy your needs first, but that does not have to talk about why we have to make choices. It's just because we can't necessarily get everything we want. All right, what is labor? The human time, effort, and talent that go into production, the resources made and used by people to produce and distribute goods, the knowledge and skill gained through study and experience, the number of people available to work in a society. Say, you know the drill. Pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, and come back. All right, welcome back. what is labor? Hopefully you were able to get rid of 2 and you knew that the human time, effort, and talent that go into production is labor. And if you look back at our notes right here, it says labor. It says all the human time, effort, and talent that go into making of products. An important characteristic of entrepreneurs is that they develop new products but do not market them, make a profit by investing in existing industries, take risks to create new kinds of businesses, expand distribution systems to reach more consumers. All right, pause, get rid of 2, choose your answer, come back. Welcome back. Hopefully you did not choose A, because develop new products but do not market them. That would be a waste of money, and no one gets into business to lose money. And you can't necessarily assume profit, and an entrepreneur doesn't necessarily deal with existing industries, but sometimes they do. But most of the time they take risks to create new kinds of businesses. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.